And then value is the business actually providing good value to people. Because if you've got that right, then it's a lot easier to do the marketing, the sales, if you understand the value. So some of that is certainly what's the core principles, the guiding values of the company, and then how does that show up in the products and services that you create? And then those products and services as themselves, are they valuable for what they are? And I can give examples that in my business I just sold, my Oh Crap dog poo bags, we had a value of eco-friendly and sustainable. So there's so many products that we had across our desk that would even say they are sustainable by some number or some metric or some test. But because we understood so much about sustainability, we rejected hundreds of products because they were just perceived to be sustainable by some badge. They weren't truly sustainable because there's clever ways that different sustainability things get around tests, let's say, to say they're sustainable. And different countries have different rules around sustainability. So for instance, if you go to the US, some of the sustainability factors are lower. So then you can take the product, oh, it's sustainable now. Hey, we'll take it to Australia. So Australia has some very, very high composting standards in that case that you just wouldn't, like a US product doesn't match, but you can market it as sustainable. So yeah, we had some very strict values, and then that showed up in the product and the level of quality, the difference it made, the fact it was truly sustainable. So I think that's having that thinking layer in place and using it as a mental model of, am I thinking about this right? Or am I asking limiting questions? So one classic, well, there's a couple of different question styles that come to mind really quickly. The limitation factor, hey, I have this limit. With that in place, how do I go to the next stage? I think that's okay, but you're defining limitations early on. I like to start on a bit more open-ended stuff. So there's the 10x is better than 2x and 100%. But a more tangible version of that, for instance, is if I removed my one key growth source at the moment, my biggest lead driver, what would I then do to grow the company to 10x? Because it's, I think, not looking at the things from where I am today, it's about looking at things from going forward. And then on top of that, a really good question to ask is, based on the company I want to be in 6 months' time or 12 months' time, what decision would they make based on today to get me to that position, or pulling me towards that position versus pushing towards that position, if that makes sense. Like the hard slog versus the one critical question that they would already know and they've already got right.